everyone, it's your buddy, it's your pal. I'm Karnik, and this is Serenity Wargaming and Explanations. Doing my Star Wars Armada segment today for card review. We're going to be looking at Admiral Tarkin. And sorry, there's a fly flying around in here, going to probably be bothering me a little bit. Hope that doesn't bother you all too much. You'll likely see him on camera flying around. Admiral Tarkin, very similar to their Grand Moff Tarkin card, but a slight few differences. Admiral Tarkin is a commander. How do you know that this is a commander upgrade card? If you look at the bottom left hand corner of the card, you will see that there is no upgrade icon there. Most of their upgrade cards, they've got a little icon there. It tells you where they go. Commanders don't have that. If you look in the opposite corner, you'll see that they are for the Republic. They are also 30 points. Admiral Tarkin, there's a little dot or bullet point in front of their name, signifies that they are unique. You can only ever have one Admiral Tarkin in your fleet, meaning, for example, if we ever got like an officer card or some other kind of upgrade or whatever, you'd have to pick and choose. You can only have one Admiral Tarkin present in your fleet. There's no multiples of them. Okay. As always, I'm going to just read through the card first, and then I'm going to break down how that actually plays out. So, at the start of each ship phase, you may discard one command token from this card. If you do, either you gain one matching command dial, or each friendly ship gains one matching command token. How does this card work in a nutshell? Start of the ship phase, you can discard one command token from the card. If you do that, you can either choose for either the ship that Admiral Tarkin is equipped to gain a command dial matching the discarded command token for when that ship activates, or each friendly ship gains a command token matching the token that was discarded. So with a little bit of flexibility, maybe you don't need, all your ships getting like another navigation token if they already have one. Maybe you need your flagship to actually get like a navigation dial. And how do you know like what tokens you get? If you look on the left hand side of the card, you'll see that little blue bar, that strip. It will say 6, which means you can put 6 command tokens on this card. The symbol there represents any command token. So you could put all squadron command, you could put navigation, you can put pretty much any mixture that you want on that card, total of 6 tokens. One caveat to that blue bar, though, is that technically, according to Rules Reference Guide, the time that you choose to pick and place command tokens on Admiral Tarkin to use their effect is when that ship is deployed during deployment. Okay, so that's when you choose the command tokens you have to put down on the card. So it isn't before deployment, it's not after deployment, it's not start of the first round. It is when you deploy that ship. Okay, very important distinction because, for example, if you forget to put tokens on your card and you reach start of the first round, technically your opponent doesn't have to be considerate and allow you to put tokens on that card, because now you have information more about the board state. Maybe you can tailor the token use to what you want. The purpose of that blue bar is the kind of like, in this situation is you kind of have to decide what you need based on the information you have at that time. What this also means, for example, if Admiral Tarkin, for whatever reason, if their flagship is in set aside or like in hyperspace or something, when you deploy that ship like in the middle of a round or if the game has started, you will not get any tokens on that card either. It is specifically only when you deploy the ship during deployment. That's the only time you can collect those tokens to then start utilizing that card effect. So again, make sure you're being careful with that. So I kind of launched into some of the explanations, but yeah, you got a gist of the simple stuff. Now I'm going to go more into the explanations and some nuances here of the card. One thing I do really like about Tarkin is, again, that flexibility of, like, oh man, I really need squadron tokens for all my ships or concentrate fire. Maybe you're refreshing something like spats or whatever that you need those tokens for. Or again, if you just really want your flagship, your Venator, to just get in those double dial flexibility, that's really great. So for Tarkin, a few more things, and I'm going to kind of use my cheat sheet over here. So again, remember the timing of Tarkin is that since it's the start of the ship phase, you can choose to resolve them first to put tokens on your card, or excuse me, on your ship, so that you can then utilize those tokens. You can spend or discard them to use things for like fleet commands. Keep in mind the effects, use, and timing. Also, remember that any ship that has the life support failure critical card turned face up, those ships can't have any command tokens on them. So you wouldn't be able to put command tokens on any ships that have that critical. Some other things to keep in mind when you are gaining that second dial, if that's what you choose. Remember all the FAQ and all the other rules reference we have about how you treat those dials. So remember, you can't resolve two dials of the same command. You can't do a squadron command and then another squadron command. You can turn one of those into a token and resolve a command as like dial and token. You just can't do dial plus dial, things of that nature. And again, keep in mind that this second dial that you get, you can't use that to fuel like other effects that depend on a dial being revealed. Again, when it says a revealed dial, it's only the actual ship's dial that those kind of card effects base off of. If you're new to the game, you may not quite understand what I'm saying there, but you'll come across cards that say when you reveal a command dial, it's specifically talking about the ship's dial being revealed, and not anything about this bonus dial that you may be getting. Okay, I think that's pretty much like all the big stuff. I'm not going to go too much more into detail on that, just to keep things pretty clear for what we're talking about. Tarkin, I really like using Tarkin and loading them up with squadron commands. That way you're flexible, like on squadrons or navigations. I've seen people use Tarkin for concentrate fire for spats on their Venators or victories. There's quite a few different subtle, unique ways you can utilize Tarkin. So that's in a nutshell. That's Tarkin. There's nothing other super crazy or in depth. For there's no errata. There's no clarifications for them. But of course, if you have any questions, if it's anything official that you want an official answer for, of course, go to the AMG rules forum. Otherwise, if it's just kind of like, oh, hey, like, tell me what are some fleets that you like using with Tarkin. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you next time. Quick shout out to the sponsors of the channel. Firstly, to Otherworld Events. Regardless if you're needing assistance for event managing, planning, organizing, how to even start, or just need specific ideas for what it is you're doing that you already have a plan for, Otherworld Events can help you out. Second, to Admiral Tater Ship Shop. Admiral Tater Ship Shop, while specializing in Star Wars Armada miniature items, also has X-Wing and Legion items. If you're looking to really get some great looking acrylics on the table, whether it be holders for your upgrade cards or tokens or acrylic tokens, and most importantly, you just want a perfect range ruler with no flaws or errors in it that's going to give you exact measurements every time, highly recommend Admiral Tater. It's the range rulers I use at tournaments. I know they're cut perfectly, they're going to range perfectly, and I'm going to get that best measurement every single time. Also, just look at everything they have available. So thank you to our sponsors.